In the 21st century, bits and bytes are as threatening as bullets and bombs. That's a quote from former Deputy Secretary of Defense William Lynn just before leaving office last month. Welcome, I'm Petty Officer Michael Wilkin. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and Sergeant First Class E.L. Craig has an overview of ways the Department of Defense is approaching the problem.
With 15,000 computer networks and 7 million devices worldwide, the Department of Defense has a lot of cyberspace to defend.
Cyberspace is a man-made domain. Every part of it has been created by humans, which makes it different than the naturally occurring domains of air, land, sea, and space, where DoD and its allies and adversaries have traditionally operated as militaries.
And the department has more than just its own bases and operations to worry about, so it's working hand in hand with the Department of Homeland Security.
DoD is responsible for defending DoD networks, or what we call the .mil. The Department of Homeland Security is responsible for defending .gov or government networks and for helping to protect the computer networks of critical infrastructure.
Those include the power grid, the transportation infrastructure, and the financial sector, which affect bases domestically and overseas. There are steadily ever more computer-driven devices playing key roles in tactical and strategic operations, from small units to worldwide networks, and malicious attacks can be large or small.
They can be very small, affecting one small system. They could take down a power grid and everything in between, depending on what the adversary is able to do. So we are preparing to defend against that whole span of attacks and working on the way to work through them if they do occur.
In a 2008 incident, a thumb drive used in a Middle Eastern country spread a virus throughout DoD networks worldwide, classified and unclassified. That alerted the department to a real vulnerability and generated the intensified attention to improving cybersecurity. Dr. Ryan Otis, a cybersecurity expert, saw something similar happen in his native Estonia in 2007.
We had about 3 weeks worth of fairly simple attacks that came en masse. So if you think of farmers with pitchforks, one is not a problem, but if you have thousands of them, they will develop into a problem.
DoD estimates there are now 30 militaries developing cyber units. That means cooperation and joint training with allies is especially important on the digital front. There's also concern about the potential vulnerability of defense contractors. The Defense Industrial Base, or DIB, which itself endures frequent computer attacks.
In the past, things like sensitive but unclassified information that contractors would have on their own networks has been taken. So whether it's intellectual property relating to weapon systems, support to operations, things like that.
A just completed pilot test had DoD and DIB companies searching for ways to share classified data and keep it safe. The White House released an international cybersecurity strategy earlier this year. DoD created a cyber command and issued its own strategy. Cyber Policy Director Schleien says that's already making a difference.
Just having the strategy in place, having Cyber Command and the service cyber components taking a very serious look and day in, day out coordination of cyber defenses, the knowledge we have of what our adversaries are doing and how to deal with it, much better than we have before.
But Mr. Schleien also notes there is currently no guarantee of 100% cybersecurity. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Sergeant First Class E.L. Craig, Pentagon Channel News.